Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe Lapinto, and you are watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network. Listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network. Listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network.
Without Wall. We come to you every Monday morning, 11 to 12 Central Standard Time. We are on the beautiful studio of the New Orleans Talk Network. We come every morning, Monday morning, just to share with you about our community and what's going on in our country. We wish to enlighten you. Hope that we could educate you a little bit more about our country and our parish where we live in. And if we done that for our listening audience, you should be doing the same thing for us. You can help educate me and Dr. Williams. My name is Charles Steward, your host, and Dr. William is also your host. We, Church Without Walls, we always tell you that you are the church. You go to your church house on Sunday, so you should learn something that you want to share with your brothers and your sisters. Dr. William and myself, we take time out of our schedule, the same way y'all take time out of y'all schedule to listen to Church Without Walls. You can download us on the app, www. New Orleans Talk Network. We're also on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We have a new number. It haven't came up on the screen yet that we want to give to our viewing audience that we would like for you to call us and let us know what you think going on in our country and also what is going on in our parish. Every Monday morning, we tell our listening audience that we love them, and so many of our listening audience, some of them are ill, some of them is under the weather, and like to name a few, Watson, Reverend William, Teron Williams, he is ill. I think he is in West Jefferson Hospital. We said praying for him that God would give him a speedy recovery. Also, Simone Williams, so many others out there that are sick and shedding. We want you to know we love you. We're praying for you. And also many of those that are listening, I talk to some real fine people every day, every week, and some of the people who you learn to love and respect, and they got some good, wonderful people out there. I got a good friend. He easy going, but he is a good friend, and I've been knowing him and his wife for years. They're some sweet people. And I know he don't like for his name to be called, but sometimes it's good for people to call somebody's name and let them know that you love his name is Lester Williams. He live on the East Bank, one of the nicest brother you ever gonna meet. He quiet, easy going, but he's a wonderful person. And it's good for somebody every now and then to acknowledge them, let them know that you love them and that they is beautiful inside and outside. So love you, my brother. We love all our brothers. And for all those that are sick and shedding, want to ask Dr. William to pray for those that are sick. Give us a prayer, Reverend William, if you don't mind, for those that are sick and shedding.
Most holy and everlasting Father, we come at this hour of the morning. As we come to you this morning, my Father, we come to you as sinners who have fallen short of your glory and your mercy. We ask you now that thou would touch those who are on their beds of affliction. We ask that you would touch them with the finger of love. We ask that you would touch them with a hand that can heal them, O God, my Father. At this hour of the morning, we know that many are in pain. We know that many are suffering. But we know that you are a doctor who can fix anything. So we ask in you, if you will, this morning, would you please look on the bedside of those who have fallen ill to the infirmities of this world, and we ask that you would touch their body and allow them to have the health and the strength that you have ordained for them from the coming of their mother womb even until this present day. Bless them now in the name of Jesus. And Jesus says in his word, whatsoever you ask of the Father in my name, I will grant it you. We pray that it's already done in his name this morning. Amen.
Amen. Thank Dr. Williams for that prayer. And prayer is always in order. Don't care what you're doing. The Bible says we should always pray. And if you notice, many people, don't care what they do, an actor, football player, baseball player, you notice them who acknowledge God, they always pray and thank God for the use of and the activity of their limb. They thankful to God for that. And we thank God for our listener audience again. If you would like to get in on the show this morning, please do so. Call us. We have a toll-free number, 563-999-1800. Repeat that again. We have a new number, toll-free number, 563-999-1808. Call in and get on this conversation. But this morning we're going to be on a subject that I think that many our listening audience may want to get in on. And our topic today going to be the thing that you know, but you don't know, but you should know. And there's so much going on in our country, as Dr. William and I were talking about this morning, and we asked God to put on our heart a subject that our listening audience should be involved in, should want to be a part of. The thing that, some of the things you know, but there's so many things that you don't know, and you should know. Such as what's going on right now in our country. My opinion, Dr. William and myself, we talked about it. It's going on in the country. I think it's like everything is now like camouflage. That people, they take it, they going. The old people say they're going right, but they sending you left. What I mean about that? That a lot of things that, in my humble opinion, that what's going on in our country right now, where the president is thousands of miles away, and he supposed to be meeting with the head of that is China.
Mm-hmm. China, Russia. Not
no,
Russia.
It's not Russia.
Not Russia.
But as I know, I can't call it. But anyway, he meeting with the foreign leader. I'm gonna put it this way: it'll come to me in the country that I know he ain't Singapore where he at right now.
Syrian.
But what's going on is that he meeting to unify, to bring peace in this world, to bring peace in the world. But now, before he left to go, he went to Canada a couple of days ago. And before he left, what people missing, he signed some very, very important bills, such as taking Medicare from people, taking food stamps from people, and they got bill after bill being passed right here in the state of Louisiana. They're taking away the Medicare. There's so much of stuff being going on, but they taking focus off what really going on, and they done shipped it overseas. And people not paying attention to that. You should pay attention to what's going on at your own house. To me, the president should be worried about the people in the United States, the welfare of the people of the United States, instead of the people across the sea. And Dr. William, how do you feel about that?
Well, if you actually take, sometimes you put up a smoke screen, and the smoke screen is so that you can take your eyes off of what they're actually orchestrating. Once you take your eyes off of that, they put other things in a preview where you can look at it, make like a panoramic picture, and you'll focus upon what's happening overseas rather than what's happening at home. You know, those senior citizens who have Medicare and Medicaid, some of them, people who are disabled and can't get around, don't have anything coming in, who have a small amount of money that's coming in, and then you've got situations like with Social Security. You've got situation with Social Security where the Social Security won't pay you what you paid into Social Security now. They got bills that they're passing to take away from that. And people are not focusing upon basically what's happening in the United States. They're looking at all of the stuff that's happening overseas. Well, that's good to focus upon some things that's happening overseas, because those little small country can actually be overrun by other countries and taken control over. So it's good that the United States can monitor some of that stuff. But right now, with the president and some of the stuff that he's doing, he's taking a lot of benefits from the people in the United States. And a lot of the monies is going overseas and in other different countries where they should be here helping people in the United States. You talk about Medicare for the senior citizens. If you take away Medicare from them or take away Medicaid, that's like taking away their ability to have medical treatment. So now you're going to have people sick. And you can, every time we got ready, when the world got overpopulated, they created a war. War eliminated people out of that number. A lot of people wound up getting killed, mostly men. So whenever there was a need to depopulate the world, they created World War. And if you look at what's happening right now, it's a possibility. It's a good possibility that we're looking at a nuclear war. A nuclear war will destroy many millions of people. So some of the things we have to be careful about, and some of the things that people don't even know. They got cities under the desert. They got cities under the sea. Nobody talks about that. So that means that they've made plans to preserve certain number of people in the event of a nuclear war. So we've got to look at what's happening in our society, what's happening in our world, and try and have a voice. Because basically what most people say is, well, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. But unless you exercise your voice, unless you try to make things different, you're putting people in positions that's supposed to be leaders. If they're not running the country according to the way that you think it should be run, and you can see error and insufficiency that's happening within them, and you fail to say anything, you fail to exercise your opinion, then you're just as worse as they are. Either you're going to be a part of the solution, or you're going to be a part of the problem.
Yeah. And Dr. William, you hit the nail on the head. You're going to be part of the solution, or you're going to be part of the problem. And Dr. William, take like they create new, like a real popular word now that the president used is fake news. And if you got fake news going on right now, fake news, like when they went to Canada, they put that signed agreement. Them countries been working together for years. And the president refused to be a part of that, but he said Russia needed to be a part of it. Or if not, the United States wasn't going to be a part of it. Now, Senator John McCain did notify those other six countries and let them know that just because the president think that way, that don't mean that the United States as a whole think that way. And saying that to say this, I believe that if everybody who know our president know that he says a lot of things, and he always change his mind and go back to the original right.
Well, just like with Russia, okay. Mm-hmm. The president said that he had no variable connection with Russia, but they got all kind of investigation between what happened between him and Russia. Yet nobody's saying anything about it, and anybody who comes up and says something about it wind up being fired. Mm-hmm. So he has that power to terminate. And so if you mess with the president, then he's saying, I have the power to get rid of you. It may not be true, but I'm saying that's where I perceive it as what's happening. Mm-hmm. And when you look at certain things, you have to be able to make a reasonable decision on what you see, not only how it's affecting you, but how it's affecting the entire nation, the world.
Right.
And we as individuals who have authority and power to do something about it, and we fail to utilize that power that has been granted us to work with the country for the best of the country, we are just as guilty as the one who's doing stuff impossible to destroy the country. Mm-hmm. We need to be aware of those things, and we need to speak out on those issues.
Reverend, we need to take a break. 504. I'm sorry, y'all. We need to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to give you our new number. And please call us. Get in on the conversation. Yep. Let's talk about what's going on in our country and also in our city. You are listening to Church Without Walls. Charles Steward and Reverend Dr.
Kick it from me one time.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
We are back. You are listening to Church Without Walls. Reverend Dr. Anthony Williams and Charles Stewart. We come your way every Monday morning, 11 to 12. You like to get in on this conversation, 563-999-1808. Toll-free number, 563-999-1808. We'd like for you to call it in and let us know how you feel about what's going on in the country. We're talking, Dr. William and myself, we're talking today about the thing that you don't know but what you should know. And we got some things that we don't know, and we should know. We're asking that you tell us the thing that we should know, and we kind of tell you the thing that God put on our heart to tell you, to let our listener audience to know that the thing that you should know. You should know that you hear this about fake news. Fake news is at its all-time high right now. When the president, when he went to Canada the other day, and he left there with all the pictures leave behind. Number one, he showed up to the meeting late. Then he left there with controversy. That's fake news. That's to get all the attention off of all the things that's going down. People saying that they got the Russian investigation going on. It's way more than that going on. We got to watch them congressmen and them senators who passing bills that gonna affect you. Most of your grandkids is the one that really gonna feel the pressure and a lot of those bills that being signed. I seen just here local in Louisiana, they passing a bill now that in order for someone to get food stamp, I think they got to go through all kind of different tests. So they make it hard and harder. What get me is that the right for life movement. They always fighting to say kids they can't do abortion, can't do that. But
what you got to realize,
they starving the kids to death.
What you got to realize is that when they write a bill, there are loopholes in that bill, and loopholes come with situations like this. They'll tell you you can't do this. Then they'll come back and tell you you can't do this except you do this. Then they'll come back and tell you it's all right to do this, but you must do this first. By the time they get down to the bottom of that bill, the same thing they told you that you couldn't do, they're saying down there at the bottom of the bill, but they put a loophole within the body of the bill that will allow you to do it if you can do this. So when we look at fake news, what actually happens is that if there's a bill that they want to pass, then they're going to create something to take your mind, your sight, and everything else off of that bill until that bill is passed. And once that bill is passed, it's on the books and you can't do nothing about it.
Right.
So it's the same thing that happened in the political arena all around the world. That's the way the political staff does things. And people are only fakers that if you notice, whenever they get ready to pass a bill, that's some bill that they want to pass, even in Louisiana or wherever, they create a situation of something dramatic happening outside of the world or in the eastern country, and then you'll focus upon that. If a hurricane comes, they're gonna that's gonna stay on the news 24/7.
Yeah.
So, and when they're getting ready to pass whatever bill, that bill goes to the floor. And then you have filibusters down there who filibuster for that bill. And so that bill get passed and you can't say anything about it once it's passed. And people don't say anything. You got congressmen, you can write your congressman, have them they can have filibusters to go up to Washington, go up to Baton Rouge and filibuster for those bills.
Yeah.
But we're not doing anything about it, so that is why the world is in such a shape as it is right now. Right. Because you've got dignitaries who you put in office who is not doing what they're supposed to do.
Right. And when you look at it, Dr. William, they definitely don't do anything in the best interest of the people who they represent. But they always, what get me, they always say this is what the American people want, but if you do a polling, the polling could say 80% of the people in the United States, this is what they want.
Well, when they do a poll...
Then they tell the people they don't know what they want.
But if they're doing a poll and take 200 people and do a poll on it, this is what the 200 people, and they say, well, 70% of the people of that 200 poll said that this is what they want. Then they're going to go with that figure. 200 is like they're take 10% of a million people, and that comes to 200. So they're gonna poll 200 people and see what 200 people say, and they're gonna take a percentile of that, and that's how they get that poll.
Right.
So I mean, that's not factual. They're only doing it with a certain amount of people. So
it's get them an idea how the people thinking. But as politicians, they spend a lot of money on that. I remember who that was. I think that was President Bush. He managed the poll real well. Whatever the people wanted, well, he pretty much listened to what the poll said. They got a lot of politicians. They pay a post the whole year round. Take like the Democrat Party, Republican Party. They have people that does poll. they on the air.
Well, they do poll in certain areas.
Every month they poll to see how people thinking.
They're gonna do poll in a certain area. If they poll it in that area and they feel like they're getting a statistic from the people in that area, then that's the way they're gonna do the poll at. But that poll is not 100% effective.
I agree.
It'll just give the politician an idea on where we need to work.
But the thing, what I'm saying to Reverend William, don't care what that poll said. They can say the poll is 100% against cutting funds for little kids that need medicine, kids that disability act. They would say, well, this is what the best interest of they ignored what the poll said. When it comes to what doing something for the community, they said this is what's good for the American people. This is what the American people need.
In most
they
cases,
don't say how they thinking.
most cases, people are not concerned with what the American people want. They are concerned with how can we sell newspaper, how can we sell news. Right. So we publicize this so people can focus upon that. And you got to be careful of everything that comes out in the news because all of it is not factual. Some of it is pumped up.
Well, Trump be right then when he said fake news.
Well, you can call him and say that he actually it's not fake news, it's true news. Mm-hmm. Because you say what I want to hear, but you don't do what you're saying needs to be done.
Right, correct.
You see, so if I put something in front of your face that you can focus upon and then take it away from you, I'm not helping you.
Yeah.
And that's some of the stuff that's happening with fake news. It's the same thing if I get up in church and preach a sermon and then the people look at me and say he living raggedy, but he's telling us what to do, but he's not doing it himself.
Right.
I'm just fabricating stuff for you to see it. If it has to affect me before it can affect you. If I'm gonna preach it, if I'm gonna teach it.
Right.
And that's why you got a lot of problems. The problem that happening right now is it's just like Satan give you an illusion. He give you those invisible darts. He put them up there.
Right.
And you look at those darts, and he says you can have all of this. Don't you remember when Jesus was tempted? He was tempted 3 times.
Right.
Physically, socially, and spiritually.
Right.
And you know when you look at the temptation, he tempted Jesus on every physical factor of life. So we got a situation with Trump, whereas say kids on Medicaid, they got insurance. The kids that the senior citizen who on with Medicare, they have insurance.
Right.
Okay. When you start taking that from them, you taking everything that it costs them to live as a free person in the United States. You taking everything from them. When you start taking everything from the people who, as a country, as a United States, we are together as cities, town, all come together for one purpose. And we pay into this to have these benefits there for us when we get to be a certain age. When you start taking that from us and say we can't have this, you got a situation right now with Social Security. They've created a windfall.
Okay.
A windfall say that you can have Social Security in retirement. But now if you get in retirement, they say that they can take part of your Social Security that you paid into the all these years and take part of that and put it in, because you're getting a retirement, they're going to take part of that from you. You know, those bills have been passed, and those bills need to be changed. If I pay Social Security and I'm going to get a retirement from Social Security, I need to get it. If I'm going to set up for a retirement for myself, I need to be able to have my retirement and my Social Security and get my Medicaid.
Right.
That's taking stuff from the individual. So you're gonna send a lot of money overseas to take care of the people overseas and understand that they need help.
Right.
But you're gonna take a lot of stuff from me over here that I done work to secure for myself. That's not fair.
No, Rev, it's not fair, but that's the way the game being played now. And people don't really pay attention to it. Reverend, when you said something earlier, when you said that people saying my vote don't count. They gonna do what they want to do anyway. That's not necessarily true because you take like I think a couple of days ago, women got the right to vote. I think it's been 100 years. You know, women at one time couldn't vote. So I think it's been 100 years ago, a couple of days ago, actually when that bill was passed through Congress, that they could vote. Now, go to show you how that worked. I didn't see it happen in Louisiana. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I didn't see it. But you take like in most all your countries, say up north and Mideast, them women are out there by thousands marching, celebrating. That was the day that they got the right to vote. It meant something to them. What that does, that tell those kids and grandkids, if you exercise your right to vote, you can make a difference, you can make a change. Right now,
Whose fault is that, though, Charles?
I fought the parents.
Because they don't. When we were coming up, our parent had restriction on us,
Right.
and they told us what we should do, and then they made sure that we did it. Today, the generation now have taken the restrictions from the kids,
Right.
and the kids do what they want to do. There was a time I couldn't walk in a room and not speak to elders who was up in there. But there people would say something to you. Did I sleep with you last night?
Yeah.
You know, your mama would enforce that. Don't you ever walk up in here and not speak to those people. Kids are not being reared. We've gotten to a point where grandparents are raising the children of their children.
Right.
We've gotten to a point now where all the restrictions are being taken off. So the kids are out there in the street. You got children having children.
Right.
And so we're in a situation now where it starts at home.
Yeah.
And it takes two parents and a whole village to raise a child.
Right.
And that's not happening today. So as a result, what we see is that the children have no respect for nobody.
Right.
There's no respect in the schoolhouse because now the teachers can't say nothing. The teachers can't touch them. When I was in school, teachers had a strap and tore my behind up
Yeah.
if I did something, and then gave me punish work, and I had to do the punish work in order to not have punishment the next week. If I didn't finish all of it that day, I had to finish it the next day.
Okay, Reverend William, what you just said just then about you can't chastise the kids anymore. The kids can talk to the teacher what they want to. And I told one of my Caucasian friends, him and I had a conversation about that.
Mm.
And he asked me, what did I think of that law and why did they put that in the law? And I told him what I believe. I could be wrong. But I told him when integrations came in,
That's when the whole thing changed.
Yeah,
That's when the whole system changed.
Yeah, they realized
Where our
that
teachers
they were
would
gonna
tear,
have
our
black
teachers would,
teachers.
our teachers would tear our behind up. But now the Caucasian race didn't want the black teachers
Chastising their
disciplining their kids. So now you had stuff that came up where if your parent are abusing you, I have a broken teeth in my mouth right now in the front from a pot spoon. My mama was stirring the pot. Boy, go wash them dishes. I started stomping my feet. She didn't say nothing. She waited till I passed her right there. She took that pot spoon and popped me in the mouth with it. Now that would have been called child abuse right now. But
Right.
it wasn't no abuse. She put me in line. When I tell you to do something, do what I told you to do. We don't have that now. So the kids are at school right now. The teacher tell them something, their voice, and tell the teacher, you're at school to learn and to be educated, not to
Right.
go there and tell the teacher what to do.
Right. Correct.
So that's not happening now because they've got laws that say if you put a whip on your child and they go to school and they got a whip on them and the teacher asks them why and they say my mama whipped me with an extension cord, then you got to go to child abuse court.
Yeah.
Then you got to go to abuse anger management and all of this kind. So all of these laws put the parent in a position, but that same child will go out in the street and the police can come and take a billy and go upside of his head, but you can't whip him and keep him in line.
We're going to finish this conversation after we take another break. You are listening and watching Church Without Walls, Reverend Dr. Anthony William and Charles Stewart. We'll be back.
Kick it for me one time.
It's what is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running from.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned into New Orleans Talk Network.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
We are back. You are listening to Church Without Walls. Reverend Dr. Anthony William and Charles Stewart. We come your way every Monday morning. I invite you to call us and give us your point of view, what you think about what's going on in the nation. And we are talking about the thing that we don't know, but what you should know. And we should know what's going on in our nation. If we don't wake up and pay attention, our kids gonna get it. Now some of us that right now we feel okay because we got a few nickels in the bank and got a car, got a roof over our head. But what about what's gonna happen in the future? When you wake up one morning, your grandson got a situation, you say, "Oh, I didn't know that." That's why Dr. William and myself trying to let you know what's coming in the future, and where your grandkids and your friend kids would understand. And as we were talking before the commercial break, Dr. William and I, we were discussing about when they made a change in the schools that where a teacher could whoop a kid, and as Dr. William was saying that is when the law changed, they changed the law because they didn't want a black man whooping their kids, a chastising their kids, and they changed the law. But that change hurt the whole United States when they made that law. How do you think about that, Dr. Williams?
Well, that law changed, whereas even if a child right now is, he can call 911 for his parent. The police will come out and they'll come to your door to see why the child called 911, who called 911. The child say, "Well, my mother whipped me." They're ready to take that parent to jail because he or she whipped that child. So now you're taking the authority away from the parent in the home, and you're giving the child an out, whereas that child can actually call the police and say, press charges against their parent. In other words, that would be a safe way to put it. And so you take the restriction from the parent. Now, that takes away the authority from the home. As it takes away the authority from the home, the child feels that he can do whatever he want to do because he'll call the police. You know, I can remember a situation where my youngest son called 911. The police came out to my house, and he said, somebody called 911. I said, nobody from here called, so did I have children? So he come up there. So my baby boy said, My dad whipped me, so I called 911. He got this mark on my arm, so the police said, well, we can bring you to jail because, you put a whip on him. I said, I'll tell you what, you can bring me to jail, but then when you bring me back home, don't leave. He said, well, why? I said, because I'm going to tear his butt up again, and you're going to have to bring me back to jail. So he said, well, let me talk to you over here. We will have to bring you to jail if you put a whip on him. Okay. I said, well, yeah, you're going to be bringing me backwards and forwards to jail because every time I come back, I'm going to put some more whip on his ass. If you take the restriction from me to correct my child, but yet and still that's just for a whip, but yet if he go out there and get in trouble, you can take that billy and go upside of his head and give him a concussion or something else. What's worse? Me whipping him in the home and putting a whip on him, or you going upside of his head in the street?
Right, that's correct.
In age past, we went to school, we stood outside, we had to do a prayer and a pledge of allegiance before we even went into the building. You didn't have as much going on as far as children out of school, skipping school or whatnot, because they had a constable or a truant officer that walked the campus, and they had one that I remember was Fred Dorsey. If Fred Dorsey caught you outside during school time, that man had hands twice the size of my hand. He'd grab you, and when he got through with you, he'd bring you back and put you in that room, tell that teacher, call me if he's not here in this class. We don't have anything like that in the schools now.
No discipline.
Now they want to train teachers how to use guns, and all this kind of stuff. None of this stuff should be going on in the school. And the other thing is that if you've taken all the restriction from the parent who cannot hold restriction on their kids about what to do, the kids get to a point right now where they tell you, why you went in my room? Okay. Boy, please don't never tell me nothing like that. You don't pay no bills. You don't pay no for nothing in here. If you want me not to tell you something, then go get your own apartment, and you won't have to worry about nobody telling you nothing. Until the parents take back the restrictions and put it back on the kids, we're going to always have problems.
Right.
And those problems are going to continue to occur. It's time for some of that to stop. We got to get back to the old landmark.
Yeah. And, Rev, like, what mind-boggling to me, like you said, it's certain things that people want to do.
And they come up with y'all, they come up with timeout. You got to give a child timeout. I'm going to give you some timeout.
Yeah. And Rev, what getting me, though, that you were saying about they passed all the restrictions. Now, here the way this go. You stated a few minutes ago that the kids in the school do what they want to do. They train and teach. Now, here's something I can't figure out. How the people in the United States deal with a problem where you got the Rifle Association. I think they may have maybe members, but they got a whole bunch of money. I mean, they got millions of dollars at their disposal. And here what they do. They literally got teachers, and this is one of the most ignorant things I ever seen in my life. How American people stand for this, that they want to train teachers how they, I seen on television where, what state that was, might have been in Czechoslovakia, I forget the name of the state. They training teachers what to do in case if somebody bring a gun. I mean, it's so simple, Rev, that you want to train teachers how to use a gun, but if you take the damn gun away from
Well, tell me something.
Dog, you don't need to train nobody.
Why are you trying to take guns and use gun control outside of the school, but then you want to give the teachers gun in the school?
Yeah.
That's the reverse of what you're trying to do. Why try to get all of the guns together from people in the states, in the cities, and in the town, but then try to give the teachers guns and train them how to use them in the school and in the classroom? That's the...
Hey, Rev, check this out. I want to make sure I get to see you before we go off there. they said they protecting the Second Amendment right. Now check this out now, Rev. Do the Malcolm people understand that in those days when they said your Second Amendment right that you can have a gun only shot one time. I mean, you had to reload it, might take you 5 minutes to reload it. I mean, I don't even think they had guns around then that would shoot twice. But the time done changed. You living in a different time where a gun, during them days, a gun.
Well, what you find is that
time.
people abuse the law. Just like they say you have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech means that you can speak, but then they took it to another level where you can say whatever you want to say, whether it's condemning or condoning something. So they take it to another level. Freedom of speech is that so you can get out there. Even with Facebook now, some of the stuff that they have on Facebook right now shouldn't even be on that because that was created to help people in school to be able to communicate with their teachers and whatnot. But now people get on there, they got all kind of people fighting on it. I seen one on Facebook the other day where some woman was actually stomping a little child.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, freedom of speech don't mean that you can use it any kind of way you want it. They ought to go back and look at that amendment and see what it actually is saying and why it was actually given.
Well, money because I wish, Rev, I can see one senator or one congressman would take the floor and say, look, we living in a different time when those when the law of the land was made. And they talking about your First Amendment, your Second Amendment right. You need one guy to stand against one lady senator, one man Congress would get up and say, wait, in those days a gun is shot one time. And the rest probably during that time, by the time you reload it and pull that out and recock it again, it probably at least took 2 minutes now, but a gun not shoot 1,000 rounds a minute. So that things change. I mean, they had horses and buggies in them days. Do they still ride horses and buggies around down the street? But people do bills that is all about money. I mean, they making new guns every day. And now, if the Congress did do the right thing, they would say everybody can have a gun. But it's going to be a hunting gun. If you want a gun, but like a person like Rev don't need a gun that shoot 100 rounds a minute. I mean, what man need a gun to shoot? I mean, even if somebody break in your house, ain't 100 gonna break in at one time. So I can see having a gun shoot 6 times. But now it's all about money. And the Rifle Association pretty much they done took control in time. It made me angry when I seen them in school. That was over in Slidell showing kids how to hide from a gunman and all that. I mean, take the damn guns away from the people. They don't. You don't have to do that. It's one simple thing.
That's right. That's right around us. That's right around us. That's in an area right here in Louisiana. You got where the kids were actually running, and it was actually training them in that school on how to evade. If a gunman. Yeah, a gunman. And
that's they don't understand, Rev. That's encouraging some kids to do that. You know, like some kid watching that there say, if I get this gun, I'll go in that school, I kill someone, I'm going to make the news. Some of them, that's a dream for them.
Well, you also got...
I'm going to make the news, I'm going to be all in the newspaper, I'm going to make national news. That's a big deal.
You got things that's affecting our society right now. Matter of fact, I found out the other day that some of the people that have cancer takes morphine drug. And what they don't tell you is the side effect of that drug. And that drug can actually cause a person to become mentally disturbed. Okay. That drug, morphine, is a drug that they give to people who are ready to die.
Right.
And that drug has many side effects. It can actually make you see things that are not there.
Right.
Okay, so that particular drug right there is for pain.
Right.
But you have to monitor how that person is being affected by the drug that is taken, because that drug can actually cause them to become suicidal.
Right.
Suicidal.
Yeah.
And so you're wondering why people now or jumping off bridge and taking guns and blowing themselves out. Maybe it's just possible that they're taking medication that's causing them with that side effect to make them feel like that.
Yeah. But it's all about the dollar, y'all. So we're talking about things that we think that you should know and the thing that you don't know. And this is what Dr. William and ourselves, we like to for the interface with our audience. And I told you we have a new number. It's
563
999
1808.
1808. And we're so happy to come your way every Monday morning. We ask you to write that number down. And Dr. William, we're going to be coming your way. A time is it's gone by. This hour go by so fast until it's be gone before we realize. But we want you to know, y'all, that we love y'all. We ask you to continue to write us up and write this station. Let us know. Call us. Let us know. Is this a subject that you want us to talk about? Please let us know. And we'll have that show for you.
Send your letters to 7601 West Bank Expressway in care of Dr. Charles or Dr. Anthony Williams, and we'll put your suggestion on the air.
We love y'all, and we always leave the show by saying we love you, love you, and ain't no such thing as being half dead. If you're dead, you're dead. We love. See y'all next week.
Mob, kick it from me one time.
What is the world coming to? Seems like everyone is running from the truth. We just stand up and fight, walk into the light.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk Network.